Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. I hope you had a wonderful week. This week's video is dedicated in loving memory of my grandmother, Yatefega, the Bas Levi Yitzchak, my mother's mother. May her neshama have an aliyah. In this week's Haftorah of Parshas Vayeira, we read about two incredible women. One was the wife of the prophet Ovadia, who Ovadia himself was an incredible story. He used to be an Edomi. He converted to Judaism. He became a disciple of Elijah, the prophet. And so we're going to talk about his wife. The other woman we have was the Shunammite woman who didn't have any children, and Elisha the Navi gave her a blessing. She had a child. The child died. He revived her. Two incredible stories. We're going to focus on the first woman, the wife of Ovadia. So the wife of Ovadia, after Ovadia passed away, she was left with no one to help her pay her bills. And her husband had given a lot of charity, and he had a lot of creditors. So she went to the Navi. She said, "What should I do?" So he told her, "Well, what do you have in the house?" She says, "I have nothing but one cruse of oil." No, this is not a Hanukkah story. So he told her to go to her neighbors and borrow as many vessels as she can, and she'll be able to fill up all those vessels from that one cruse of oil. So she had the cruse of oil on the floor. She put the vessels next to each cruse of oil, and miraculously, all those vessels got filled up. The cruse of oil became like a spring, and it filled up. She kept telling kids, "Bring more vessels," and finally, they ran out of vessels to bring. And the verse says, "Vayamod Hashemen," the shemen stopped, or literally mean it went up. So what happened? So she went to tell him, "Hey, listen, it stopped. What should I do now?" He said, "Go ahead and sell it and pay back all your creditors, and you'll live a long life." And so we learn a few lessons over here, and the main thing this is a concept of Amunah, a topic of Amunah, and so I see at least two lessons. The first one is that if you want money or if you need money, Hashem can give you money from anywhere. So, for example, a very simple example to make an analogy to this cruse of oil all of a sudden just filling up, right? Anybody who's ever dealt with a penny stock, you could buy a penny stock at 1/100th of a penny, and then all of a sudden go up to $2. If you have a bunch of shares in that, which would probably cost you, let's say, $100. So all of a sudden you could be a multimillionaire overnight if somehow this penny stock went up to $10 even. So we have to believe if we do the right thing, so we'll have success. What was the right thing for this particular woman? The right thing for this particular woman was going to ask a Torah sage, the great prophet, what to do, and he gave her the advice, and that in itself was the success, which is another lesson. If you want, like our sages teach us, we should always conduct our business with our Torah sages. They'll give us the best advice about what we should do. The second lesson we should learn is that the verse says, "Vayamad Hashem," the shemen stood up. What does that mean? That means it stopped. But amod literally means to go up, or to stand up, to go up. So our sages teach us, the Medrash teaches us that what happened all of a sudden was the price of oil shot up all around the world, and she had now enough of it that she can now sell it for way more than she normally would have been able to sell it for. So again, something went up overnight. But what did she do? So she went and she asked him, "What should I do? Should I sell or should I hold on to it? Maybe it'll even go up more in price." And he told her, No, you go ahead and sell. Which is another lesson for us, that sometimes if we do have a stock, we're like, wait, the stock may go up even higher. Maybe I should hold on to it. And the Navi is saying, no, sell while you can, because you have to sell if you have enough money to be able to sell and support yourself and your children for a long time. That's what you should do. Don't try to look for even more money, because then everybody who has ever dabbled in stocks may know that all of a sudden 2 days went by and everything plummeted. Don't be too greedy, which is not really the lesson that I'm trying to share over here. Not be too greedy. I want to try to keep this to having faith, emunah in Hashem, that don't think that, hey, I can have more money, because the lessons learned is teaching you right now that when you need money, Hashem will give it to you. So now that he gave you enough money to sustain you, you should take that and run. Don't worry, yeah, but I'll need even more. I can get even more money. If you need more money, Hashem will give you more money. The idea is always to live within your means, not to be too greedy, rely on Hashem. And if you do that, we'll have a successful life. My grandmother, she lived not an easy life, but she pulled through. She had emunah in Hashem. She believed in Hashem. She had faith in Hashem, and she was strong with that. And anytime she needed something, ultimately, she had her success. She had wonderful children. She had wonderful grandchildren. She had wonderful great-grandchildren. Truly a successful woman, having emunah in Hashem, having emunah in our Torah sages. Hopefully by us, we should be able to resemble that. All women, all people out there, have a great Shabbos. Thank you for listening.